people are pissed off about the Gravity Rush and Patapon adaptations. But is it actually that bad? Let's discuss. If you're watching this video, you probably already know about Gravity Rush and Patapon. But for those that are unaware, well, these were two franchises from former PlayStation studio, Japan Studio. Patapon was made by a team known as Pyramid. It was a trilogy of rhythm strategy games featuring a cast of these eye creatures known as Patapon. To this day, there's no game quite like it on the market. Back in the day, I played Patapon 2 on my PSP, and just recently, I platinumed the remaster of Patapon 1 on my PlayStation 5. Unfortunately, there's no remaster for Patapon 3, most likely because the first two did not do too well financially. Gravity Rush, on the other hand, was made by Team Gravity, formerly known as Project Siren. Gravity Rush is an action-adventure series following Kat, an amnesiac who has the power to shift gravity at her will. Now, I played the remaster for the first time back in 2017, and I ended up getting the Platinum Trophy. I haven't played the second game yet, so I'm not like this amazing Gravity Rush expert, I'll leave that to you guys, but I do have it installed and ready to play on my PS5. Even the biggest Gravity Rush and Patapon haters will agree that these games have style. They were so different and unique compared to the rest of Sony's catalog of games. While these games managed to carve out their own niche fan bases, they didn't really sell that many units. In April of 2021, most of Japan Studio was dissolved and rebranded to Team Asobi. The reasoning behind this was due to a lack of profitability within most of Japan Studio. Now, I gotta make myself clear. I do not agree at all with Sony's decision to disband most of Japan Studio, but I understand why they did. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand it. While I really like Japan Studio games, the harsh truth is that they didn't really sell well. There just wasn't enough of an audience there for Sony to keep supporting these types of games internally. Would more marketing have helped? Sure. Would that have changed the fate of Japan Studio? That I'm not too sure about, to be honest. And instead of trying to discuss a hypothetical scenario of what could have been, we have to face reality. And reality can suck sometimes, there's no doubt. Fast forward to last night. Sony held a conference at the Consumer Electronics Show. Now, this is a presentation that covers all aspects of Sony's business, including cameras, tech, movies, video games, etc. However, Sony announced Torchlight. Torchlight is an advanced visualization facility which assists filmmakers in making digital scenes to assist in the pre-production process. Here is where we got our first look at the Gravity Rush movie and a new Patapon project. Yes, these two franchises that we once thought were dead and gone are actually coming back, and in a way that nobody expected. Well, to be fair, we kinda did expect this Gravity Rush movie because it was first reported back on in August 2022 with a director and a writer attached, so this Gravity Rush project was known for a while. The Patapon announcement was definitely new because no one expected that coming at all. And it's still pretty crazy to me that Sony is actually using Patapon in a big way. However, the fan reaction to these announcements has been, skeptical. And skeptical is definitely the most positive because I saw a lot of people that were pissed at this. And at first glance, I can kind of understand them. If you ask a Gravity Rush fan or a Patapon fan, would you rather see a new game or a movie based on your favorite franchise? 9 out of 10 of them will answer a new game because they are gamers. They play video games. And of course, you'd rather have a new video game to play than a movie you can watch. I totally get that and I understand that. And also, at first glance, and to many people that aren't aware about the film industry, this footage is very early and it's literally concept footage, right? It's not official footage that's actually going to be indicative of the final product. But at first glance, at least for the Gravity Rush movie, it looks very different artistically because it's planned to be a live-action movie. And I totally understand why fans would be upset because it doesn't really exude the exact same style from the games. However, I don't think it's the end of the world because, as I said earlier, it's concept footage. It's not indicative of the final product. The same goes for Patapon, which only had like 3-4 seconds of footage, and some Patapon fans were upset about the change in art style. I personally am not too angry about it because I'm kind of cool seeing a 3D style Patapon, but like the Gravity Rush footage, this Patapon footage was clearly early stuff. This is not indicative of the final product, so I have to wait and see the final game to preserve judgment on the art style. However, the negative reaction to this might actually be a good thing for these creative teams because they can respond and see that fans really want the artistic style of the original games in these films or anime, so hopefully that does happen, and I think people should be hoping for this to succeed. Gravity Rush and Patapon are niche franchises. They just are. They aren't popular, they aren't mainstream, but with an adaptation like a movie or a TV show or an animated movie for Patapon, it could really bolster the IP to mainstream appeal. Just look at what happened with Twisted Metal. That franchise was dead and dormant since 2012. However, the TV show was a massive success for PlayStation Productions and Peacock. It was greenlit for Season 2, fans and critics enjoyed it, and because of the mere existence of the show, we are getting a brand new Twisted Metal game on PS5. And that, I think, is the power of PlayStation Productions. If these adaptations hit, we can get a new game in said franchise. So if the Gravity Rush movie is going ahead and in the works, maybe Sony gets ready for PS5 ports of Gravity Rush 1 and 2 for PlayStation 5 and PC to introduce that franchise to a whole new audience. Same with Patapon. They can remake the Patapon games or remaster Patapon 3 in time for this Patapon adaptation. Again, it's about expanding the market, expanding these franchises to new audiences, and I think that's a good thing. Again, I understand why people are skeptical, but I think PlayStation Productions has a pretty solid track record so far. Uncharted, I liked. It's definitely the worst one, don't get me wrong, but I liked it. Last of Us, I thought was great. Gran Turismo was surprisingly good. Probably one of my favorite movies of last year, and I love the Twisted Metal show. As a huge Twisted Metal fan, I thought they nailed it. So I think we should give PlayStation Productions some benefit of the doubt when it comes to Gravity Rush. Maybe not all of it. I understand. Trust me, I get why you're skeptical. I get it. But before we see the first trailer, let's just calm down, wait, and see what happens. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the Gravity Rush movie and this Patapon adaptation. Do you want to see more dormant IP get the PlayStation Productions treatment? Let me know. I'm Radic, and I'm signing off. Peace.